Welcome to episode 260 of the UFO Buster Radio News. I took a couple days off, but I'm back. Might have been more than a couple days. It was a holiday here in the States, so yeah, I think it was more than a couple days. I had to give you guys like time to settle in to what I was talking about last time because I had to do the same thing. I kind of had to reset. For those of you who didn't hear it, 259 was about the scientific analysis, the study of the Nimitz incident. You know, I've always said that Fravor seemed like a straight-up good guy. I've always had my reservations about Elizondo. But at the end of the day, that's how we got the message. That's how we found out the news. And that's why I still feel that the USS Nimitz incident, tic-tac situation at all, even Gimbal, those events are by far really outweigh any legacy event, to be honest. And again, my message here is, I just want to say this to Guter, or Cutter. My message is, I'm not saying that you need to take your hours of study of other UFO events and forget them. I'm just saying you need to put them to the side because there's an incident within this century, within less than 2 decades, that deserves your attention much more than any other incident that's been reported. Not only because it was witnessed by members of the military branch of the United States. That's not it. And Chris said, I'm tired of all this U.S. nonsense. It didn't happen to a country in Australia. It didn't happen to service members in Australia, Switzerland. Do they even have an army in Switzerland? Fuck, I doubt they do. Japan, China. It didn't happen anywhere else. Canada. I'm sorry, I got a bit of country Tourette's. It didn't happen anywhere else but the United States. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about the United States, not because it's the United States, though I am proud of it, but it's because that is the country that happened. That is a country with one of the most well-equipped military in the world, so that should be more of an attention getter to you than the origin. If you have one of the most powerful military in the world saying that something then circles around it, that should get your attention, no matter where the fuck in the world you are. That should mean something to you. The other thing is I want to say thanks to a few people that sent messages in the last few days. And some of you are a little older than that because it turns out that good old Skype, Facebook and all of that is not giving me notifications. So Frank, Gutter, of course, Guter, Donnie, Brooke, Ronnie, Paul, and Ed, thank you for your messages. When I see them, I read them, and I try to respond, of course. But like I said, especially Facebook. Facebook they're doing something with their messenger where they deleted groups from having the ability to have messaging in between the members of the group, but somehow the pages are not giving notifications now either. So there you go. That's how it is. Bada bing, bada boom. And I think with as many times as Android updates, I think that your settings get too far, 4.2 fucked. And that's it. You got to do everything all over again. Ed for some reason, sent me a message also. And really what it was is that he agrees with my stance about finding planets that are a billion of light years away being somewhat fucking useless. Yeah. Ed, you're right. You're right on the money. A lot of people don't understand that, right? They see, oh, look, we've got a new space fucking telescope that's going to be up there. And guess what? Oh, it's going to plot a lot of fucking planets for us. So what? Anyone that knows anything, even if you read like 5 articles on what we're seeing when these planets get identified, anyone that has bothered to read a fucking article from the beginning to the end knows that you're looking X amount of billion light years in the past. So even if that planet had a bunch of fucking green fuckers on it running around 4.3 billion light years ago, guess what? They're probably all fucking dead by now. As a matter of fact, they probably had other civilizations come and go in that time frame. So you don't know what the fuck is there now, because you got the message 4.3 billion years late. That's what I don't understand. I mean, science is so fucked up right now. You would think you would get, with everything that's going on, even if you don't believe in UFOs, even if you don't believe that there could be life anywhere else in the universe, you would think that you would at least get a multidisciplinary team with all walks of life and science from all around the world, every single discipline, put them together and attack things like UFOs, aliens, what people are seeing, our own fucking solar system. I mean, you're busy looking up at the stars billions of years in the past, but fuck, you don't even know what's past freaking Neptune and Pluto. What does it matter if these things are billions of light years away? It's a joke, I think. It's a waste of money. Figure out your own fucking backyard before you go hopping around trying to figure out shit that you're never going to reach. Not your generation or any generation after that. That's where science has issues. Totally. Now, the other thing that kind of brings me into the news article for today was that I actually watched the other day, what's that, Unidentified, the Tom DeLonge series. Only episode 1. That's all I needed to watch, really. I still ended up with a lot of questions from that. Was it put together okay? Yeah, for the most part, it was. There was this little interplay telling the Fravor situation from Fravor's perspective, his wing person that was shrouded in darkness, the female, which no one can identify, even though they fucking said on the show that she was there with Fravor, so I don't see how that would be hard to figure out. So you might as well just show your face. But I still had questions on that, and probably something we're not going to get into this episode, but it does bring to mind a recent article I saw regarding To the Stars Academy, Tom DeLonge, and the rest of the crew. So let's get into it now. Can somebody please tell me what the hell was it that Fravor saw? That's really all I need to know. Can we figure that much out? Can we get to what this situation is about? But there's an article right now from the Washington Examiner, and it's an opinion piece about Tom DeLonge, TTSA, To the Stars Academy, and the fact that he might be losing the battle to convince people that UFOs are a real thing. Yeah, they're basically throwing an opinion out that all the stuff that's been happening behind the scenes may be causing old Thomas some problems. So the article opens up, of course, talking about To the Stars Academy, how it opened up as a shareholder-based organization. And as a side note, I know you guys a lot of you didn't get to go and invest to the Stars Academy because that ended up being a big issue for a lot of people. It turns out that there is a second round of funding going on right now. How convenient, right? How convenient. Angels and Airwaves releases a single, right? Then we have the unidentified series. And now you have the ability for at least $350 at a price of $5 a share to buy some common stock. Except if you live in Canada, if you're Canadian, you're fucked. You can't buy anything. That actually comes on the website. I didn't even make that up. So how interesting. A lot of successes. Might as well cash in, get some of that green back, because as we know from last year, Two Stars Academy is in the red big time. So the article goes on to talk about the fact that the organizations focus on research and technological exploitation of unidentified aerial phenomena. How would they exploit it? I have no idea. It makes no sense to me. The article does give them kudos for Tom putting together the team that he put together. You know, former Skunk Works people, military intelligence, all those guys. Gives them kudos. It even goes as far as saying that the studies that TTSA put together on hypersonic travel through multiple domains, air, space, water, the domains that we know, really is important research when it comes to Chinese and Russian hypersonic weapon capabilities. I'm neither here nor there on that. I had no idea that TTSA was even doing this because of the military or what they could offer, but I'm sure that if you're in the negative and the military says, hey, I can offer you a nice little contract for X amount of dollars, To the Stars Academy will be there, I'm sure. I mean, why not? If you look at the team that he's got together, all of those guys are partial to working for the military in one way or another. So I definitely do not see them turning any military contracts aside if it means funding the company and their own research. Kind of like Deuce Bigelow, the space jiggler, right? Isn't that what he does? Bada bing. That's a true story. So the problem that they're saying that Tom DeLonge and TTSA has is basically transparency. There's only a few select small amount of journalists that they allow to talk to their people. And that's a problem, right? Because their stance right now is the government should be transparent. They should tell us what these UFOs are. They bring out these videos, they put it in the public forum and say that the government's hiding things. When in turn, it turns out they're doing the same thing. There isn't any open door policy there. Basically, you need to have know someone on the inside in order to get some interviews or information out of TTSA. So that's a problem because, their mission statement, as the article says, it's about pursuing technologies and getting to the truth. You can't really tote that if you're being so secretive. So here's the deal. Who do you believe? When you look at the last conversation that Tom DeLonge had, a lot of people felt and came away from that like he really should not be the one to be the face and the talking head of the company. And that goes as far back as when he was on Joe Rogan's show, where even Joe Rogan said he was perplexed at what the hell was going on. And most of you, like myself, that sat around and listened to him were not clear. There is no way that what he was saying and how he was communicating it had any kind of supportive framework for the TTSA that he was trying to introduce to the world. I wouldn't believe him from that. I sure as hell was not going to invest in a company when the guy who's supposed to be the front man can't even tell me what the hell it is he's investigating. Now, is that different now? Just a little bit, because honestly, when it came to that documentary, that first episode, he was still not so, how can I say, camera friendly. Now, Elizondo, on the other hand, Fravor, all the other guys did they great when it came to that little episode 1 of Unidentified. But still, the front man, the guy that should be in the front of all of this, is the one that, even though he put his team together, is causing a lot of the doubt. So for you guys who have about $350 in your pocket that's burning a hole like crazy, the question is TTSA something you want to invest in? Can you put everything aside, news reports, issues, bad presentation, lack of transparency, and all these things, put them all aside and say, maybe for round 2, I will put my money where my mouth is and get in on the TTSA action. And we don't even know. Besides shares, I don't know what else you're going to get. Maybe you get a newsletter every 6 months or every time they're building up to get some more people to invest. Who knows what they're doing? Because they're not transparent. So you're not going to have any idea what the hell's going on. But that's the whole thing. Some of you have seen the series Unidentified. Some of you have seen it all. So my question to you is, do you feel like this is really what an investor into the To the Stars Academy coffers, if this is what you want? Is this really what you're investing your money for? Or was it the original statement of getting transparency and getting down to the bottom of what's happening? Because we don't really know anymore. Yeah, we got some more interviews. We got a bit more data. We understand there's been a bunch of FOIA requests. But aside from it being a tic-tac that did some fancy shit up in the air, we really don't know anything else. And there was information within that first episode of Unidentified that kind of makes me feel like maybe this wasn't from 4.24. Or maybe they were monitoring the flotilla the whole time and wanted this incident to occur. It can still go so many ways. All this research and all this talk about it, and we don't have a clue. This is the episode for today. Don't forget to follow the podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you send me a message, I may or may not get it. Not much I can do about that. Maybe they'll get that together soon. But thank you for listening, everyone. I know I mentioned a few names, but those are just the folks who send me messages. I appreciate every one of you for listening, and I thank you. Don't forget to share, follow, subscribe, whatever you need to do, because it's hashtag Save Manny Month. True story. Ciao.